Hey guys, this is Tom from Numbers Game Lifestyle, and today we're going to talk about how to get choosing signals or indicators of interest. Now, getting these signals from women that they're interested in you or like what they see can drastically, totally change your whole day game cold approach experience. Because instead of having to spam approach every woman that you see, you simply sit back and you wait for signals to come your way that women are interested. It's the same way that you would do if you're setting up a shop on a busy street to sell a product. You don't go hey, do you want to buy this product? Hey, do you want to buy this product? And just spam everybody that walks by. No, you put it out in front of you in a stand and you see who looks at it. See who looks at it twice. And if people look at it, stop and look, you know they're interested, and then you can sell them on that product. You're not just trying to force it on everybody that walks by. So this is what choosing signals are. They're indicators that they're interested in what you look like. But I know a lot of guys struggle about how to go about getting choosing signals. And the first thing you have to keep in mind is only a small fraction of the women that you see in day-to-day life are sexually available, meaning there's only a few that are even open to meeting men. You know, they're interested in trying to find a man. And that percentage is very small. It's considerably less than 20% of the population of women out there. So keep these numbers in mind, meaning you have to show you yourself has to be shown to a lot of women in order to get choosing signals, in order for you to encounter one that is sexually available, meaning that she's looking for an attractive guy to meet, because the vast majority are not. Okay, so first thing you have to do is put yourself in situations where there are lots of women walking around, because you need to play the numbers. You know, the vast majority of women aren't in the market for a new man, so you have to put yourself in an environment, where there's lots of women, because it's going to be less than 20% that are actually interested in meeting a new man. Okay, so the busier the better. The more women that see you, the better. Now, find a spot where there's a lot of women coming and going. And how you go about getting choosing signals is about how you look. I know tall guys are going to have a super big advantage in terms of getting choosing signals, because the taller you are, the more naturally your eyes just get drawn to you. I don't care if it's women walking down the street and the tall one is not very attractive, immediately your eyes are going to go directly towards the tall one. It's just natural instinct. It's like a threat assessment. Oh, that one's tall. Look at her first. And then you gradually look down the line and you see the shorter ones are actually a lot hotter. And it's the same thing with men. The eyes are naturally going to get drawn to the tallest guy, because it's a threat assessment. It's wow, I got to look at this guy. So your height plays a big influence on getting choosing signals, because you stick out. People look at you, and if they like what they see, they look twice. Okay, so that's the tall guys. They have that massive advantage of getting choosing signals quickly, because people's eyes naturally get drawn to them for the first time. And that's the thing. On your day-to-day life, women are not on the hunt. They're not oh, I'm going to work, I'm going to check out every guy I see and make sure, see if there's any attractive guys out there. That's not how it works. Women are stuck in their own problems. They've got their own things that they're dealing with. So they're not even thinking about meeting new men during the day, right? So you have to kind of shock them out of that mental state. Your look has to capture their eye. Otherwise, they're just going to blow right past you, and they're thinking about all the stress from work or stress from school. They're not even going to notice you. So you do have to stick out somehow in order for eyes to get drawn to you. And then they look and oh, wait a minute, and they look again. Just like a cereal box, when you go down a cereal aisle, they're wild. They catch people's eyes. They're brightly colored. They're not just generic cardboard boxes. They're bright and they're loud, right? They captures people's eyes, so you look twice. And this is exactly what you have to do when you're like trying to get choosing signals and finding women that are interested in you. You have to stick out somehow. So, like in the summertime, it's actually a lot easier to stick out because people aren't all dressed the same. People have a variety of different outfits, and your physique definitely gets shown off a lot more in the summertime. People can notice you like, oh, that guy's a big guy. Like, and it draws people's eyes, right? The bigger you are, the more eyes will get drawn to you. Like, and you'll stick out more, right? Same thing with how you dress. Like a backwards hat, kind of like a douchey thing, and that's exactly what you're going for. You're looking for a douchey look, and backwards hats capture people's eyes. It captures women's eyes for sure. It's kind of like that, douchey look. And it's like not a lot of guys do it. Same thing with like anything that like sticks out. Right? So that is what you're going to use as like the shiny little lure to capture people's eyes and make sure that they look at you once, because you want that first look. Because that's going to tell you everything you need to know about this girl, whether she's interested or whether she's not interested. But you have to kind of break her out of that monotone like autopilot of like work, school. She's thinking about like her friends and all this other bullshit going on in her mind. She's not looking for, oh, I gotta keep my eyes peeled for some guys that I want to like signal to approach me. No, you've got to like really stand out and keep your eyes peeled for any type of signal that they're looking at you. All right, so that is the summertime. Summertime is actually very easy to get choosing signals because it's bright. People are dressed differently. They're dressed in like revealing clothing. So it's very easy to like pick out people that are attractive, and everybody looks a lot different. Whereas in my city, in most cities in the wintertime, winter is going to be coming up shortly, everybody is going to be wearing the exact same thing. Like a black coat, black winter coat. If you look in a mass, like a crowd during the wintertime, everybody looks the same. It's just like a black mass of coats. And for good reason, right? Like, you don't want to wear a white coat in wintertime. It gets dirty, it gets messed up super quick. So yes, wearing a black coat is a good idea in terms of practicality, which is why everybody does it. And if you wear a black coat in the wintertime in a crowded environment, you are going to fade into the background like one of those cloaked predators putting on a cloak device. Like, it doesn't matter how good you look, you look awesome in your pea coat or your leather jacket, but it's black like everything else, and you're just going to blend into the background like you've got like an invisible cloaking device on. You're not going to break anybody out of their autopilot looking like that. I remember like I've got like good winter coats. I've got good winter fashion. But when I wear it, I just blend in like everything else because it's very black and very kind of boring in the wintertime. Whereas what really performed well for capturing people's eyes was, I'll put up a picture, a gray hoodie with gray sweatpants. And that's what I wore in the wintertime as I'm going about doing errands. And it was super warm, super like convenient for wintertime. And it captured people's eyes because nobody's dressed like that. Like nobody else, everybody else is in black, black winter coats, black everything, big black puffy jackets. And here I am in like a full on gray outfit. Captures people's eyes very effectively. So yes, this is what like instigates choosing signals. It captures people's eyes and forces them to look at you. And as soon as they look at you, they have the opportunity to signal that they're interested. Either they look twice or they stare at you. A lot of the times, girls will just straight up stare at you. And they'll do things to indicate that they're interested in what they see. And that is what the name of the game is for getting choosing signals. First, you have to put yourself in environments where lots of women can see you, because only a small portion are actually looking for guys like you. They're looking on the market for a new man. Next, you have to look a little bit different than everybody else. Like, you have to break out of that mold. However everybody else is dressing, you have to dress a little bit different. You have to stand out. And it's tough to do in the winter time because everybody's wearing winter coats and things like that. So you have to break out of that mold. Winter time is like all about Yeah, going for something that's not black jacket. If you're gonna wear a nice black jacket, because I've got like a nice black pea coat that I wear all the time, what I'll do is if I'm looking for, to get choosing signals, I'll wear like a red scarf, like a bright red scarf that kind of snaps people out of their autopilot, and I don't blend into the background like everybody else. This is a good way to capture people's eyes and act on the signals that they give you. But yes, what outperforms even like that is the gray sweatsuit, right? That gray sweatsuit did very well for me because it was so different than everybody else, what everybody else wears in the wintertime. So keep this in mind. Make sure you look good, but look different than everybody else, right? Because if you look the same as everybody else, you're gonna fade right into the background like a predator putting on his cloaking device and just being invisible. All right, guys, that's the video. Thanks for watching.